Yes. Yes. Talos Principle 2. Now, we played the base game almost a year ago now. I can double check that actually. Literally January of last year. Which is kind of funny. Hold on. When did I start Talos 1 replay? January. So every year now, I've played some flavor of Talos Principle in January of the year. Crazy how that worked. So the Talos Principle 2 DLC, as best I know, is that it's split into like 3 storylines, and I believe it takes place at the end of the main game. So I guess assume there's probably going to be spoilers or something for the main game if you haven't played the main plot of Principle 2, which was a very great game. Highly recommend it. And no reason not to just go left to right. So we'll start with Orpheus Ascending. Take your brain on a ride through the laser grid and explore the philosophy of love, death, and resurrection with Hypatia and Serpent. The classic laser mechanics of the series are pushed to the limit in unexpected ways, testing your ability to think differently. I think we can think differently. You know, I am a snake, you know, and this is probably designed for humans. So I think I'm already on that ball. January is your pulse order. Could be. If a thing loves, it is infinite. William Blake.
I think that's it. The new body's ready for the transfer. How's the reassembly algorithm?
Done.
Well then, somebody just needs to go in there and disentangle the data. Ah, and here comes our expert.
Is that me? Am I the expert?
Thank you for agreeing to this one, Kay. Perhaps together we can right an old wrong. When I was lost in my own grief, I spent a lot of time thinking about Hypatia and Serpent. How they found each other, how they lost each other, and how beautiful it would be if we could reunite them. For the longest time, it was only a daydream, but not anymore. In the myth of Orpheus, the ancient bard descends into the underworld to bring back his beloved wife, who died in a tragic accident. With the power of his music, he convinces Hades and Persephone to free her. But he is told that she must walk behind him, and he must not look back at her until they have left the underworld. And so, of course, in every version of the myth, he looks back. Because he doesn't trust the gods, or because he is an imperfect man, or because he simply forgets. And death is triumphant once again. We've accepted that triumph for a long time, because we had to, because what else could we do? But the world changes, and we are not the frightened, powerless creatures we once were. Perhaps it's time to say enough, and let Orpheus complete his ascent.
Nice. All right, that's a hell of an intro cutscene. I was gonna say, like, I hope that's not an MRI machine because I am a robot, and that seems like a bad idea. So if I remember the first game right, I think Hypatia was the
You will
more...
have to collect all of Sarabai's data fragments so that we can reconstruct her personality. I'll monitor you from here.
Maybe it was Sarabai
just like
then.
last time.
Good luck, kiddo.
So, in Talos 2, when they were originally building their settlement, there was an accident and one of them perished. So I think that's what we're doing, is we're like recovering them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Iris has like what, through 16? And then we go into the Laser Dome. We have our little friend computer. Welcome to the internal messaging system version 0.4. User Sarabai. You have 3 unread messages. All right, let's open message not goodbye. From Hypatia to Sarabai. We can... Stop it! Stop it! Let me scroll up! I can't read that fast. I don't know what this is. Don't know why I'm writing this. In all likelihood, you can't even read this because so little of your consciousness is left, and what's left of your battery is dying. They say it's impossible to recover you, and that the backups were all destroyed. I wish we'd backed ourselves up in New Jerusalem before we left. Space was so limited. We would have had to wait so long. Except, of course, it's nothing compared to the empty years that stretch before me now. I don't have the words to express what you mean to me. I tried to sum it all up, to say something elegant and beautiful and perfect, and I can't. Maybe it can't be said. Maybe it only exists as days and years live together, a sequence of moments bound together, like a string of lights defying the darkness of the sky. I don't know. All I know is that this is not a goodbye. Maybe the end of you, of us, of who I was. But I will not say goodbye. Love you forever. Hypatia. Presumably, we'll either find other terminals for those or they'll unlock later. Oh, might as well go in numerical order. See if we can get our robo legs back under us. Yield. Okay, this is a switcher. Right, wait. Okay, and with that off. Okay, what is that powering? Oh, message. There's no greater joy than discovering something as you had never imagined. In that moment, you understand that the world is better than it seems. Signed by At. What am I missing here? What if I do this? Still blocks it. Now what? Ah, interesting. Give me your cubes. Delicious.
When I was born, the first thing I felt was that I was alone. Not that I was lonely, but that I was separate, singular. There was the world, and there was myself, a contained entity. And this sense of separation, of a distinct self, was delightful. Individuality itself was a source of constant joy and wonder. What could be more incredible than to be able to say, I am?
I think it's the same VA
Everything's looking good
as
on our end.
the researcher in the first game, the human. All right, well, that's base 16, but I can't translate that off the top of my head. I am not going to be hand jamming these, even though I could. Great, we're going to have hidden flames.
I've inserted some code that might help you bypass a few puzzles. It's not the most elegant work I've ever done, but it'll do the job.
I mean, I'll collect it regardless, but we're gonna be solving these. Crossing the river. So I need to get a blue over here. Okay, that one does that. If I do this. Okay. Almost, I think. Oh, this one hurts my head. Okay, they were not kidding on how hard these puzzles are gonna get. All right. Okay, let's reset these. So we're going to have to use extra connections to block. Ultimately letting the blue through. Whatever red this one grabs needs to get interrupted by another, so that it's only transmitting blue. So if I do this, It's hitting that one. Well, at least we have some nice soothing music to go with us. It'd be simple if, like, the red lasers, the blue laser was already just firing to it. I would just need a way to interrupt the red lasers. Raiding on over here. Shrub, are you in on this too? Welcome on by, Tesla. How was Doom? Did you blow up some demons? I don't know how long you were shooting, but if you got a raid and run, that's no scale off my tail. At the very least, I implore you, stand up, wiggle it out, leave a piss, take a water. Probably got the water from someplace different than you pissed, but you do you. Blow up the biggest hacking demon. Good job, Tesla. Good job. John Ramirez. Nice. If y'all are coming over from Tesla's, make sure you're following them. We are just getting started with the Talos Principle 2 DLCs, which are definitely a step up in difficulty. Okay, if I take this one... Ah! What the heck? What did you throw all that stuff at me for? Rude. I feel like this one is going to take the blue through. Somehow. I need some arrangement of interrupting the left and right sides at the same time. If I do that and then put it here, it'll interrupt that middle one. Grab that one, it'll interrupt both of those. The problem is that it doesn't interrupt them in a good location. I need them interrupted closer to their source. Fermionic laser beams? I'm not sure what fermionic means. But if any of them collide, they interrupt each other. Okay, and if I do this. Relight is bossic, it doesn't interact. Fermions take up space and can block each other. Ah, I see. Yeah, they can block each other. They also cannot mix. That almost works. What if I need both of them? I block both of its lasers? No. Well, I can connect the prisms to any number. Each connection will produce, well, like, these are source of lasers, so it's going to go to a prism. They themselves will block. I need pathways such that it blocks the red lasers, allowing the blue laser through. The problem is, these 3 red lasers, they alternate source sides. I have 2 prisms. Presumably, there is something I can do. Yeah, and the thing is there's also, it's not even just straight fractal. There's also just like positioning, like, do I need this one over here or do I need it over here? So it's think outside your box, except they put you in a box and it's all I can think in. 'Cause I mean, there's the sources. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 5, because the prisms can target each other. Confined to a box. It can't be Boxing Day. It's too early or late, depending on your accounting of time. But also, hi, Eyes. I hope you're doing well. Now that will interrupt that. But to interrupt this one, I need this over here. Like this. Hey, River of Hearth, welcome on by. Adapting to new schedule? As we must. Yeah, so just getting into the DLC. I think we can interrupt the last one if we do this. Oh, and that clears that up. Do we got it? Ah, there we go. There we go. Give me your cubes. I have the box now.
As I grew, I realized that the more I developed this sense of self, the more enjoyable it became simply to exist. It wasn't selflessness that improved existence, but refinement of the self. When the ancients said that ego is something to set aside, they got it all wrong. Ego is something to nourish and shape. A work of art.
The reconstruction's working. Keep going, 1K.
Ancients mentioned. All right, y'all. We're gonna go for rock skip this time. It's gotta work eventually. There must be place. Nice, nice. I'm definitely don't spoil anything. It will. I will explicitly ask if I need some help or input. But otherwise, I like to bash my brain against it. It's a bit funny because apparently I replayed Talos Principle 1 in 23 of January 23, and then I played 2 January of 24, and now I'm playing the DLC January of 25th. It's a little silly how that all worked out. Pokemon, no, y'all are awesome. That's just a fact. You can't escape it. Ooh. Critical error. All systems compromised. Peace, God, eternity, pain. Recover peace. An ethical philosophy. Oh, let's wait for it all to fucking. An ethical philosophy of life. Felix Adler. User highlighted. It is upon those we love that we must anchor ourselves spiritually in the last moments. The sense of interconnectedness with them stands out vividly by way of contrast at the very moment when our mortal connection with them is about to be dissolved. And the intertwining of our life with theirs, the living in the life that is in them, is but a part of our living in the infinite manifold of the spiritual life. The thought of this, as apprehended, not in terms of knowledge, but in the immediate experience, begets the peace that passeth understanding, and it is upon the bosom of that peace that we can pass safely out of the realm of time and space. I think they just like copy and pasted from their philosophy textbook. Recover God. We gotta save God. We killed him, but we killed God, and then we brought him back. Also, he's a wonderful voice, amazing community, great content, possibly one of the best personalized. Aw, Pokemon, thank you. I'm just a goober on the internet. All right, so this is a first series of essays by a Ralph Waldo Emerson. Well, we found Waldo, y'all. We can pack it up. Puzzle game solved. We found Waldo. Thus are we put in training for a love which knows not sex, nor person, nor partiality, but which seeks virtue and wisdom everywhere. And to the end of increasing virtue and wisdom, we are by nature observers, and thereby learners. That is our permanent state. But we are not often made to feel that our affectations are but tents of a night. Though slowly and with pain, the objects of the affectations change, as the objects of thought do. There are moments when the affectations rule and absorb the man and make his happiness dependent on a person or persons. But in health, the mind is presently seen again, its overarching vault, bright with galaxies of immutable lights, and the warm loves and fears that swept over us as clouds must lose their finite character and blend with God to attain their own perfection. Okay, so trying to untangle this one's a little bit more abstract. I think what this is sort of trying to whinge upon is the idea that sort of like divesting yourself from your mortal attachments and like you need to keep your mind, like I'm taking the religion out of it obviously here. I don't give a fuck about that. This is closer to thinking more on the pure philosophy part than any specific religious intertwining, but sort of like divesting yourself from like the physical attachments you have with either people or items or objects to always maintain an open mind to learn more and experience more. And if you can attain that mindset of just always seeking to know more and better understand things, you will blend with others of a similar mind and basically ascend your consciousness to perfection. Eternity. Theo Erkenwald. In what sense I am a Christian then, if I care so little for dogma? In the sense that in everything that I do and think, I follow the revelation of Jesus Christ, and that the greatest of all things is love. Love is the nature of God, and so equally the nature of that which was created in his image. This I have learned through that revelation that is daily life, through toil and misery, strife, and that infinite power which brings relief and joy. Thus, I reject those who believe that the ordinary love of our mortal beings is limited and that it ends with death. Rather, it is through love that we perceive the immortality of the soul, for it reveals that eternity is conceivable to the human mind when it is filled with love. It is because we know that we can love another forever, that we know we are the children of God. Don't take much more from that. And then pain. The one that seems like an outlier of these. Let's see how this pulls everything together. Corrupted username. I don't have much time left. Never thought it would end this way. Never thought I would die alone, sitting around in my apartment, wondering if things would have gone differently if we'd gotten that stupid grant. Honestly though, I just wonder why we're not together. Still don't understand. I don't know why you had so much pain inside you. I don't know why you let it infect everything we had. I don't know why you couldn't see my love for you, why you twisted everything I said. I was angry and disappointed for so long, but now I just wish I could have found some way to make that pain go away. I would give anything for that. Wish you were here. Interesting. Alright. Puzzle 3. I feel like the music is a little loud. I'm actually going to take it down a couple notches. I guess that's master volume, so that doesn't do anything. I fucked that up, didn't I? I need to take this down. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the music, but the loud parts of the music are really loud. Sequence. Okay. Well, I push the button. That opens. Noted. Cool. Now, I need to interrupt this blue laser. Right. This is the thing that absorbs light. That one was really easy compared to the last one. We'll take those. Give me your cubes.
My insights into the value of the self were genuine, I think. But of course, I was completely inexperienced. In fact, in many ways, I was like a human child. So I began to resent everything that intruded on that sense of self. My social obligations to the others, the leadership of Athena and Cornelius, even the obvious limitations imposed on us by our situation. Why did I have to exist in this particular historical moment, saddled with the task of reconstructing civilization?
Not sure if there's external puzzles, if there's gold stars to find. It's not going to stop me from looking. Thought I saw something up there. Vastness. Okay. All right. Okay. Certainly is a start. Wait, what? How the fuck do I get blue lasers in there? Wait, what? Or is that a toggle? No, it's not a toggle. Oh, I see. I feel like a potato now. All right. And now we need to get blue to blue. Okay. I have an idea. There we go, baby. 4 for 4. Off to a great start.
With that focus on the self, also came an enormous and increasingly overwhelming fear of death. The pleasure of existence seemed almost erased by the possibility of its ending. If it was possible not to be, if the self had an ending, even in the distant future, then how could anything have meaning? I spent far too much time imagining that last moment, the moment just before I stopped existing. How could I possibly face that?
I'm getting pretty existential up here. Don't mind me, just looking for ways to get out of bounds. Don't worry about it. It's fine. All right, let's check out the other set. Actually, let's see if anything is opened on here. Nope, still cannot access. Parkour? Parkour? No parkour. Okay. Flame. Don't plan on using it, but you know. Don't hurt to grab it. I like those sounds of falling rocks. It's very concerning to me. Ooh, we got a nice little oasis here. Pretty. Oh, to be a robot walking through the water. Chain. What does this do? Huh? What in the 7 fucks is this? There's 1 to the left. 2 to the left. Two over. I see math. Oh boy. I think we've got a lot of lasers in our future, chat.
Looking back, it's embarrassing how solipsistic I became. I really thought that I could construct my identity without any reference to the outside world. Like I could just will myself into existence.
Yeah,
Just
do that.
And it made me miserable. Everything felt hollow and meaningless, overshadowed by the idea of death. There was something I wasn't seeing, something I needed, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
We get that. I put this one in. We get that. So we need to move it to the left. 2. So we'll add 2 to this row to balance it out. Nice. All right, we're having to do not just lasers, but math.
Everything changed.
It was the
when we
laser
started spending
math.
More time with each other. Do you remember that night when we found the old library in the Dead City? It was just after the stampede, and we were all a bit shaken up. Byron read to us from one of the books, and later you and I started arguing about one of the poems. And your perspective was so different and interesting, and I just kept wanting to hear more.
And then we robo-boned, which I assume is like they take their adapter ports and just plug into each other. What's this say? Something has gone wrong. We are fragmented. This is incorrect. Uriel 4. The angels return. Okay, that one's 8, but where is 7? What's this? "404 not found?" It's like it's a bunker. All right. Try and remember this. I feel like we may find something, or something may happen that will open that. I wish to see more of the world's beauty. There is something limited about this place. It is not enough. Ah, here's 7. Tucked away. What do we have on this computer? Everyday Sublime, Confessions, Pickering Manuscript. Okay. Everyday Sublime, A.D. Markham. Love must matter to the philosopher, because it is, at its core, the one undisputed presence of the sublime in our lives. Even when it is failed love, unrequited love, or entirely imagined love. It is like a vast monolith towering over us, humbling, uplifting, frightening. Those who deny its presence can be safely disregarded as fools. They know it is there, they are simply afraid. But equally, a philosopher must consider that in the great matters of history, love matters not one jot. The Nazarene commanded his followers to love their enemies, but they did not, and wrote 1,000 books of excuses for this failure. Therein is revealed the purpose of the human struggle. Confessions, Penelope Helio. I am butchering that surname. To me, the idea that my soul, my essence, would fall in love with another being and then maintain that love unblemished for eternity seems utterly impossible. My experience of love has been catastrophe, embarrassment, and disappointment. But this is precisely why I refuse to surrender. why I choose to believe against all precedent that I will find the one for me, and that our love will last forever. You can laugh at this absurd and contradictory belief, but it will not waver. Faith is not a matter of the past, of miracles witnessed and saints observed, but it is of the future that ought to be written. Pickering, William Blake again. Seek love in the pity of others' woe, and the gentle relief of another's care. In the darkness of night and the winter's snow, in the naked and outcast, seek love there.